We work with really the poorest families in the world that don't have shelters. The magnitude of the problem that we face is so big. It's about 1 billion people that don't have one of life's most basic human needs, and that's safe shelter. What we really need for the size of the issue is exponential growth. And that has to come through significantly decreasing costs, increasing speed, while doing that without sacrificing quality.
So I'm standing in front of the first permitted 3D printed home in America. This house is actually printed in high winds, blowing dust, and rain. The end goal for this printer is to print houses in the developing world with unpredictable infrastructures and circumstances. We sort of dove right into the deep end of the pool and proved that we can do this outside of the lab. I believe this isn't just an interesting little cool improvement in construction. This is a complete paradigm shift that has unbelievable advantages in speed, affordability, resiliency, sustainability, waste reduction, you name it. We ran this printer at about 1/4 speed to print this house, and we were able to complete the house in less than 48 hours of print time, which means if we ran it at half speed, we would be under 24 hours, and if we ran it at full speed, we would be under 12 hours.
Instead of it taking about 1 year to build a community, we could do it in just a few months. Traditional style, one of new story homes is about $6,500 per home, right? We believe over time we can get the new home below $4,000.
The material we used to print this house is actually one of our biggest breakthroughs. It's a very specialized cementitious mortar concrete compound. You come up with the secret sauce, the secret concrete, I guess, and that's what makes this possible. We are very committed to site printing because we think that's ultimately what has to happen to achieve the affordability and speed breakthroughs that are a promise of 3D printing. The printer is made of lightweight aluminum, so it's very easy to move around. 2 people can set it up and move it. It's easier with 4, of course, but it can be done with 2 people. So it's very lightweight, very transportable. In order to create the number of houses that need to be created for the developing world, or even if we just think about getting as many new custom homes in America created on this kind of platform, there need to be hundreds of printers in the world. That is not as technically challenging as it sounds. It's actually a lot more simple to build a printer than it is to build a house. Bringing housing to the poor and underserved of the world, usually those are the last people to get advanced technologies and advanced materials, and it's awesome that we're starting there first.
We're very proud of what's been created. Obviously it can be better. This is version 1. But the next step is actually going to El Salvador with the 3D home printer, printing our first set of homes there, learning from those, and then the end goal is printing our first community of homes in history. We do not focus on temporary shelters. We focus on homes that people can build their lives on and that can have a generational impact. And what's so exciting about 3D home printing is that that promise is there.
We collect the bags. So we started a newsletter and we said, hey, we're collecting your Walmart, grocery, Wegmans bags. And then what the ladies are doing behind me is they're taking those bags, they're separating them out into colors so that we can make a white mat, a gray mat, a brown mat, a blue mat, whatever other colors we may get also. And then they take the bags, they flatten them out 4 to a stack, and then we cut off the seams, we cut off the handles, and then we cut strips so they're continuous loops. And then we loop them together, and we make a long string of yarn. That's $30 right there. It's nice.
I think it's absolutely amazing to be able to help people. There's a lot of people who have addiction problems that live on the streets, people who don't want to accept help, and this is our way of providing it for them to hopefully make things a little bit better for them, especially with the cold weather, being on the cold ground, that creates illness and sickness in the homeless, and hopefully this will keep them off the elements on the ground. They're lightweight, and we thought we would have enough bags to make one mat and it's grown into something a lot bigger than that. All of the members here, the men and the women, would bring bags day after day after day for about 6 months before we actually started making the mats. And then they continued to bring the bags, and they're continuing to bring the bags. So it's been very heartwarming as to what we've been able to do for the community through this project.
It's like rolling dough.